Welcome, everybody. We're here on the LGBTQ Real Estate Podcast, where we connect LGBTQ home buyers and sellers with real estate professionals sharing the best of their local community. It's a pleasure today to host friends, dear friends. I've known these guys for well over 10 years now. KeithKropp and his husband, Wayne Rogers of Sarasota, Florida. Keith and Wayne, I know you both have a great passion for helping the LGBTQ community buy and sell homes. It's great to see you on the show.
Thanks for having us, Jeff.
Great to be here.
A pleasure. And we're all in Florida today. I'm in Jupiter. You guys are naturally in Sarasota. Beautiful day out here, enjoying the springtime. So we'll get right into it, okay? Our show's format is 15 minutes. We know everybody's multitasking now. People are looking at their phones. If they're watching this video, we want them to get everyone, right? So we'll get into it. So the first question for you guys, share with us a little bit about yourself personally and professionally so people can get to know you and what you do in Sarasota.
Why don't you go first?
Okay. I'm a native Floridian, born in South Florida in Coconut Grove. I grew up. Went to school at the University of Florida in Gainesville. Met Keith in 1975. We've been together since 1976. I spent about 27 years in the surgical sales industry. And Keith was a realtor, I guess, since 1984. But when I retired early at 55, I went to work for him and his brokerage in Celebration, Florida. In 2000, we vacationed over here in Sarasota a little bit. I had called on Sarasota in my medical career and really loved the area. And we started vacationing over here with our dogs on Longboat Key and decided, you know what are we doing in Central Florida with all the traffic on I-4? Let's perhaps think about moving here. And that's what we did in 2011 or 12, I can't remember.
2012,
So,
we officially moved over here.
We've been here ever since. And obviously you move to a different place and your sphere of influence is back in Central Florida. And we started all over again. And that's when we thought maybe we should connect, because we never had before, in trying to carve a niche out of the LGBTQ business community. And here we are today.
You've had great success.
It pretty much sums it up. I've been in real estate going on 40 years. And like Wayne said, when we moved here to Sarasota, we basically was starting all over. You know, I would get a few referrals from the Orlando area where we moved from, and we'd been there 38 years. But I think actually I read an article in one of the realtor magazines of a female realtor who started targeting the LGBTQ community as a niche, and she had gotten on your site. And that's what first got me interested to get on your site, which we've been members of since then. And it's worked out very well for us. And a good portion of our business is with the LGBTQ community. Not all, but a good portion of it is, and we really enjoy it.
Great. Yeah, I know you've had great success, and who can resist those sunsets in Sarasota? It's just so pretty, right?
Exactly. But one of the things, we've looked at a lot of areas around the state and visited a lot of areas around the state over the years we've been together. But when we came to Sarasota, there were certain things that really struck me. Like there's an annual exhibit called Embracing Our Differences down on the Bayfront. And the first time we saw that, it is embracing our differences and loving kindness. And I couldn't believe this was outdoors on the main Bayfront of a town. I'd never seen anything like it. It made me teary-eyed. And then when before Gay Pride even, there's a woman, Cindy Barnes is her name, throwing names out, I hope she doesn't mind. She actually, she headed up the Gay Pride, and she organized bringing the rainbow flag over across the Ringling Bridge. I don't know, it was how many, she got it up here from Fort Lauderdale.
700 feet long.
It was 700 feet long or something. And I could not believe the number of people out there, and we were part of it, bringing that flag. I was crying I couldn't believe it. And the cars are going by the bridge, and the vast majority of them are honking and thumbs up, and it just seemed like such a welcoming community. And we wanted to move over here full time. And here we are.
That's an amazing story. And, only from experiences can you really have a story like that. And that really means a lot.
Mhm.
So, I know you have so many LGBTQ clients, and what is it that you enjoy about working with the LGBTQ community so much?
Well, I think we've come over the years. We've done this long enough. We enjoy working with people that are like-minded. We don't necessarily discuss outside issues, but in general, our community, well, a lot of LGBTQ people like to work with someone who is also a member of the communities because they feel they're not going to be judged. They don't want to take a chance. They hook up with a real estate agent who might judge them or not give that, or feel that their life or partner or whatever is legitimate as someone else. And so there's a comfort level right from the beginning with most of our clients. And we enjoy helping them. They want to know what is there to do for the community here. What kind of, are there any organizations? And we become so well entrenched because we would ask when we got here that we joined a local group of gay real estate agents. And that was a valuable resource, invaluable to learn about what there was to do. I mean, for example, a lot of people come here and say, is there a gayborhood or an area of town that has a lot of gay people? And one of the agents I spoke to, I like to repeat this story. He said, we're pretty much everywhere. There is a subdivision, one little subdivision where there's quite a few of members of the community, but otherwise we're everywhere. And he said to me, if you ended up in a neighborhood where you see a lot of basketball hoops in the driveway, you probably don't want to be there. And people get a laugh when I tell them. They go, yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Totally agree with everything.
Yeah. So, I know Sarasota, it's well known for the arts. It's well known for its beauty, the landscape. Share with us what you love about living in your community. For example, what are your favorite parts of the city, whether it's arts, the dining, great coffee shops, wine bars? Tell us a little bit about the job market, just in a nutshell.
There you go.
Yeah. Why don't you speak? You're so...
I think Keith and I were fortunate to have lived downtown for almost, we owned down there for like 10 years. And the downtown area is just transformed into this hub of wonderful activity. I mean, there's the restaurants, most of them have al fresco dining. Your pets are welcome. You're 2 blocks from the bayfront. Beautiful, most of them locally owned restaurants and shops. The arts, as you mentioned, Jeff, earlier, they're abundant everywhere. We've got the ballet downtown, the symphony, Florida Studio Theater with 5 venues now, the Urbanite Theater, the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, and then up the road near Ringling, we have the Oslo Repertory and Conservatory, which is just Broadway types talent. I mean, there is Broadway talent there for many of the shows, and of course the Van Weasel, we call it the Purple People Theater. If anyone's ever seen pictures of it, it's purple. But it's our performing arts hall, and we get some of the greatest entertainment here. We just recently saw Diana Krall, and we were fortunate to see one of Tony Bennett's last performances here as well. But there's just so much to do, and then you throw in all the beaches, and many people don't know that we have Marie Selby Gardens here. It's a botanical garden on the bayfront. That's the world center for epiphytes, which include orchids and research. And it's open to the public, and it's fantastic. And we have the Moat Research Aquarium, which is world-renowned for their research on sharks, dolphins, turtles, and recreating coral reefs. They've got a huge operation down in the Keys. So there's just so much, and there's always something going on downtown, whether it's an art festival or food festival. We have the incredible farmers market that's been in existence for over 50 years right downtown every Saturday, which is
very nice.
And we just love everything about it.
I always like to say the culture is huge here. Sarasota is commonly referred to as the largest cultural city in America for a city of its size. I mean, the arts, whether it's theater, we have we're not ballet people, but there's a full-time ballet company, an opera company, a symphony
Wow.
orchestra, and the plethora of theaters. West Coast Black Theater Troupe, Oslo, I think Wayne mentioned, is world renowned. And the talent here, artists, it's a huge artist community. In fact, we've sold to several, artists and authors, writers. It's just got a history, and the architecture, a lot of architectural history here too. And we have the world's most famous beach, Siesta Key Beach.
Yeah.
We're not
beach there. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, you mentioned the sunsets. Sunsets are amazing here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so tell us. So, for example, someone may be watching this today, tomorrow, even a year from now, and they may be relocating to Sarasota. They find this video on YouTube or something like that, and what can they expect? Like, for example, from the housing stock. I know there's a lot of diversity, whether it's condo on the beach or a single family home. Tell us a little bit about what you work with and the properties that you specialize in.
Gosh, we pretty much have anything you could want. I mean, condominiums, townhomes, single family homes, villas. A lot of the newer communities have amenity centers too, and that's been popular with people. A lot of our clients want the maintenance-free lifestyle, and there are communities where even nothing's ever truly 100% maintenance-free, but where the outside's taken care of, your roof's replaced when needed, and they have amenity centers. One couple we sold to recently, went to the amenity centers. They not only have pickleball and tennis courts and dog parks and the swimming pool, of course, and workout facilities, but they have someone on site who helps arrange clubs, or say there's a group that want to have a book club or a chess club. And this one couple I started to refer to, they told us there's an LGBTQ club that brings members together, and they do things together. So there's just about anything you can want. You can be on the Gulf of Mexico if you want, or there's multi-million-dollar mansions, there's multi-million-dollar condos, there's housing stock of all kinds. Whatever you want, it's here.
Homes on the Intracoastal, I believe also it's a big boating community as well.
Intracoastal, Bayfront, huge boating community, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, fishing. What else?
Parasailing, kayaking, the mangroves,
windsurfing.
A
little of everything, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to go back when you mentioned other things here. The coffee shops have really grown. I mean, when we first came here, it was pretty much Starbucks. But now there's even a bed and breakfast coffee shop. I shouldn't name the name, but it's owned by two women, and they have live entertainment, and it's
Very
like
nice.
a B&B as well. There's all kinds of coffee shops. There's one that specializes. They hire all mentally and physically challenged employees. There's a plethora of coffee shops, individually owned, in addition to Starbucks, which is everywhere, as we know.
Yeah.
And restaurants, like Wayne had mentioned, there's so many excellent restaurants here, whatever cuisine you want, and so many with so different in Sarasota. They're family.
What's your favorite? Where do you like to go dining if you're going out to eat? Where do you prefer to go?
We go out for lunch a lot. We're not night people, but there's a Bocali, which is if we can mention names, is Vietnamese, and we got introduced to that early. We've introduced a lot of our clients there. We take a lot of them to lunch there. The finest restaurant in town is gay owned and operated. It's called Sage, and we've given gifts to some of our buyers when they close to go there for dinner, and everyone that we've referred there, they just rave about it. And I like it because I'm vegan, and the chef, we know the chef, and he'll create a whole vegan dinner for me.
It's in a historic building built in the 1920s downtown. That was originally the Herald Tribune building, and this young, very well-off lady purchased the property. It's 4 stories tall. It used to be a restaurant called Cervici, with a rooftop entertainment area. And it's, I mean, they've just done an incredible job. It's a gorgeous restaurant and a very, very wonderful place to celebrate, a special event.
We also, a lot of the, the members of the LGBTQ community will say, what is there to do for us? Are there any, and we can help because we tried to get integrated early on and got involved with organizations like Equality Florida. Shannon Fortner has started out originally as just the Harvey Milk Festival. Now it's a gay and lesbian film festival, all kinds of performance venues. She calls it Fabulous Arts Foundation. Gosh, what else is there? And for social, there's now Sarasota Pride, SRQ, Project SRQ. There's so many activities and things that people can get involved with if they want to. It's there if you want it, and if you don't, that's fine too. Whatever.
A very large Prime Timers, which is a national organization, which mostly older gentlemen, couples and singles. And there's several hundred members of that.
Mm-hmm.
They have monthly potlucks, monthly trips. They have all sorts of things. And there's a group called Romeo, Retired Old Men Eating Out is what it stands for. They have like.
That's where I want to be one day.
They have luncheons.
Same here.
And by no means do we we don't normally deal with all older people, but a lot of people are a lot of our marketplace is people perhaps looking for a second home, or mostly those that are nearing retirement and looking to either be a snowbird or to relocate permanently, especially from some of the states that have not as attractive tax situations, let's say. But
yeah. Well, this interview has been phenomenal, and I don't just say that lightly, because what I think we covered is so much that anyone watching this video knows that they could contact you both and feel so comfortable with you and know that you know so much about the moving into Sarasota and the area as an LGBT couple or individual, as a family, that they can go home shopping with you, feel comfortable, pick your brains about everything there is to do in the area, and just settle right in.
We're here and waiting.
We're here.
Great. And my last question is, when you're not helping people buy and sell homes, what do you like to do in your free time?
What free time?
We have free time. We've been big dog lovers. We have our 2 Siberian Huskies, Grayson Bear and Dakota Bear. I took up piano 20 years ago, and I love to play piano every day. Still take a lesson a week. We love to read. I'm big on history and historical fiction.
Go to the gym 5 days.
We're in the gym, physical fitness in the gym 5 days a week, and
great.
I've worked out my whole life. It's a part of my life. So, and there's a plethora of gyms here. There's everything you could want.
I think one of our enjoyable pastimes lately is putting the dogs in the car and going downtown and having lunch at one of the very dog-friendly restaurants venues downtown, because they both behave, and which is really nice, because we've had some in the past that weren't so behaving, but that's one of my favorite.
Someone else where Van Wezel is down in the Bayfront. There's a whole huge new Bayfront renovation that's going to be a $200 to $300 million project that is underway, and the southern portion of it has been done, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's a great place to just go walking or biking. Bring your dogs and take a walk. There's so much to do. We have state parks close by. We have, like Wayne mentioned, Selby Gardens, which is huge, and a lot of the members of our community love botanical gardens. We have the Ringling Museum and Estate and the Ringling Art Museum, which is one of the top 50 art museums in the country. It's just amazing what's here. I couldn't believe it that so much was concentrated in one town. And we're not that big. We're not a huge city.
Yeah, relatively small area.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wraps it up. Guys. We usually do a thumbs up, a double thumbs up at the end of the show here.
Okay. Well, that was quick.
4 thumbs.
Great. Thanks, guys. I hope to see you soon in person, and thanks for joining the podcast.
Thank you,
Okay,
Jeff.
thank you, Jeff, and
Take
thanks
care.
for having us.
Oh, a pleasure. Okay, bye.
Bye.